is going to be a romance, even though none of the description says romance, because that's not the only stories that indie writers write. We write more than romance stories. So I intentionally didn't pin it as a romance, but it is a story about redemption and finding yourself, and in finding yourself, attracting somebody who sees the real you. Here is a brief reading of that. Max woke up 2 days after arriving at Natchez County Women's Correctional Center. It wasn't that she was actually asleep during the transportation, intake, and processing. She was technically awake, as she was assigned a number, a bedroll, a change of clothes including underwear, and a handbook that looked like it had been copied over and over until the writing was faded and warped. She had been assigned to a small cell with a large woman, although the large woman seemed meek and even more quiet than Max. Max had eaten the meals that were brought to her cell block, although she did not remember what she ate, if she stood in line, or even if she enjoyed the food. She did, however, remember that she cried, not boo-hooing wails, but tears that streamed down her eyes and down her cheeks. These tears streamed continuously down her face from the moment that she stepped foot into the correctional center until the moment that she finally woke up. 2 days after her arrival, Max opened her eyes and looked at what was around her for the first time. The single light in the ceiling only dimly lit the cell, and there was no window, so she was unsure if it was morning, noon, or night. It was noisy, not in the little room, which was her cell, but outside in the cell block. It was a 2-tier cell block and not large, like what she was accustomed to seeing in movies like The Shawshank Redemption or The Birdman of Alcatraz. Vaguely, she remembered that there seemed to be only about 50 cells in the cell block, but the sound she heard of laughing, yelling, and arguing made her feel as if she was in a coliseum. Max sat up. She had been lying on a hard upper bunk of a metal and cement bunk bed. Her eyes scanned the room, and she noted that she was alone. The room had 2 desk areas, each with a small metal stool, which was screwed into the polished cement floor. A cement shelf sat above each small metal desk, which was securely embedded into the cement block wall. One desk area was neatly crowded with books, photos, and personal effects that evidently belonged to her cellmate, prisoner, 5 years in prison. All of these words crowded Max's mind and nearly brought her to a state of panic. She took a deep breath and carefully climbed from the bed, making sure not to place her feet on the bunk beneath hers. Her cellmate's bed was neatly made up, and Max took a few moments to straighten the hard gray blanket and pillow of her own bed. She had not bothered to climb beneath the covers when she had fallen asleep, so straightening the bunk was done quickly. Max walked to the empty desk. It contained the handbook that she had been given when she had first arrived. There was also a cheap plastic basket that contained her spare clothes and toiletries. A toilet and small sink was nearby, and Max quickly relieved her bladder without sitting directly on the toilet. It was old and rusted, but appeared clean. Still, she had never set her butt directly on a public toilet, and even though this was her home for the next 5 years, she wouldn't be changing that habit anytime soon. Max stepped slowly to the door, and she saw that she was on the 2nd tier. The doors of each cell stood wide open, and people were going in and out and interacting as if they were in a dormitory of a college campus. The women were dressed in orange jumpsuits or white t-shirts with the tops of the jumpsuits hanging loosely around their waists. There were other women on the tier, but she didn't make any eye contact. Max wasn't afraid yet, but she didn't want to interact. She just wanted to see what was around her. All right, so that is a portion of Second Chances, which will be coming within the next 4 weeks.